All right, guys, good morning to everybody. Today is the 30th of April, 2026. Crazy Global Market Talk with KEL. Crazy anytime, anywhere. All right, guys, today I'm still in Bangkok giving class, and yesterday we have a very good class. We did live trading and we make money. And it's proven that you can make money anywhere. So we're making money in Thailand. There are people making money in Vietnam. There are people making money in Singapore, Indonesia. Now, crazy is spreading very fast. In fact, yesterday I was talking to a friend of mine, and he told me, Cal, do you know that you are in this place and that place? I said, no, I didn't go to this particular country. And he said that, yeah, but your Zoom is now shared to that country. I said, wow, okay, that's amazing. So, guys, we are definitely growing, and I thank you for all the support and understanding throughout this journey. And I am trying my best, even though I'm very tired. Honestly, look at my face, I'm very tired, but I still drag my feet to actually do this Zoom. And I know that because I have an early session later on, so I had to do it earlier, right? So, guys, my timing when I'm overseas is a bit floating around. Sometimes it can be as early as 7:30 Singapore time, 8:30 right now, or 9:30 the usual. So the timing, please look at whenever I post a Zoom session, please look at the timing before you decide what time you come out. You had to see my timing to come for my Zoom. So I apologize for it if you kind of mix, but I'm traveling now. Okay, so thank you for that. Okay, so today's the 30th of April, meaning that we are just one day away from the U.S. Federal Reserve Chief Chairman leaving his seat. Yeah, so I'll talk about that shortly. A disclaimer apply as usual. Please do your risk management. It's very, very important. Okay, so let's look at the fundamental. We have a lot of fundamental to cover. Now, this morning we saw amazing, all right? Samsung profit surged eightfold. Oh my God, 8 times, right? To beat estimate as AI boom fuel the memory chip crunch. Fantastic. That's why you see the market is going up very strongly right now. And of course, oil have extended gain as Brent crude oil have hit $120. Now, I already tell you guys that this will definitely have an impact in the market. And yesterday, I called for buy on crude oil. I say 110, and at the moment, crude oil is at 104, 105, right? And a lot of people ask me, Kel, are you crazy? And I mean, doesn't you know that the OPEC, I mean, this UAE leaving OPEC and all this thing. I say, I know, and exactly because I know that the crude oil will go higher. So we based on what the chart says, not based on what we feel, not based on what the fundamentals says. Because if fundamentals or all this can be known, then of course trading will be very easy. But it's not the case, right? So the thing is this right now, we know that the Fed have hold the rate steady as expected, and now we have the highest level of descent. I'll talk about that shortly. And of course, we have a lot of this Donald Trump coming in again to threaten Iran with an AI picture. I'll show you with a gun. No more, Mr. Nice Guy. Oh my God. So apparently there is some saying that the guy, Alan, the guy who actually tried to assassinate this Donald Trump is from Iran. Interesting. Okay, so we're not too sure why it is, but that is how the market is talking about. And of course, there are a lot of spending now to spend on the AI, and obviously everybody else going AI crazy on this right now. All right, so you can see Microsoft calling for $190 billion of spending, and then Alphabet is going to increase too. And we have also the Anthropic, all right, also looking to raise funds for AI. So everybody is going AI crazy, yeah. Okay, so why the Federal Reserve says that they are having the highest level of descent? Okay, so basically, it's an unusually divided Fed Reserve that it held its key rate. Okay, so let me explain to you. Right here, hold on a minute. All right, so apparently, right, this time round, the FOMC has a split of 8-4. Okay, 8-4. That means there's a total of 12 of them, right? Okay, so 8 of them, they want the rate to stay, as what it is right now, but 4 of them wants the rate to come down. So usually when you have the Fed chief, they are always in the same direction because everybody knows what the situation is, right? But to have an 8-4 is quite a big one here. It's like basically 2/3, right? So the last time for FOMC descended was in October 1992. That means the last time we see the Fed chief, all the presidents, they have a different in field or direction of the biggest number is actually back in October 1992. So when you have that itself, right, that means that actually there's some imbalance at the moment right now, and some people are not very happy with the rates right now, and this will going to be a very divided effect. Okay. So one thing to note, guys, something you must understand, look at this chart here. This is very, very important. Now, this chart tells you very clearly about the potential problem of why Jerome Powell doesn't want to cut interest rate. Because since you can see back in 2002, whenever you cut interest rate, can you see that? Whenever you cut interest rate, you notice that there's something that always will happen after that. Or is it because they cut interest rate, then this thing happened, or because they know that it will happen, then they try to cut interest rate ASAP? It's a recession. It seems that every time, whenever there's a rate cut, okay, that will spill into a recession. So, of course, the question is this: is it because the Federal Reserve knows that the recession is coming in, so they cut rate? And then when they cut rate, there's a panic in the market because when cut rate, the dollar will depreciate in value. Market players will take their money out of US, and that is where the panic will become a spiral. Okay, so that is where a lot of people are asking right now. We have a rate cut of quite a significant, all right, recently, right, which is the magnitude will always lead to a recession. The question is this: why ain't we in a recession? If we are not in a recession, why are we cutting rates? So this is very interesting here, all right? And the market is speculating that are we actually in recession right now? Now, based on the GDP, we are not really climbing up. Based on the inflation, we are climbing up. So there could be a potential of stagflation. That means that the inflation is up, but the economy is not following through, and then we have a stagflation. So this is what is the market is now debating on this, and I can tell you safely, in my opinion, we are going to face stagflation by the second half of this year, and I'm very, very strong belief that the inflation will go very high, and that's why I tell a lot of people to prepare themselves. So last night, the Dow Jones slipped 250 points, posting the fifth day of losses. Now, I've been calling for sell on the Dow Jones. We have profited from that, but I didn't call on NASDAQ because of why? I know NASDAQ will go higher, and truth be told, NASDAQ went higher. I'll talk about that later, yeah? Okay, so oil price is definitely a big problem. The higher the price of oil goes up, the inflation goes higher. Definitely for Dow component stock, it's not a good idea, right? So that's why they keep on having losses right now. Okay, and that's why the elevated oil price has pushed the inflation concern. That's why you have the federal chief, the FOMC community have a 8-4 what they call a number, and of course Kevin Walsh, the Trump nominated successor, appear on track to take over Powell at central bank. Okay, so everybody is expected to wait for the confirmation of Kevin Walsh. Okay. And now we have is that after the bell, Alphabet, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft all came out their earnings, and we all know that's pretty good. That's why you see the Nasdaq shooting to the sky. But like I say again, this is not going to be a long-term thingy. All right. But although the earnings is good, and at those goes like Michael Burry, they have profited from this. But I'm not going to like chase after at this moment right now. Okay. And of course, we all know that Jerome Powell is pretty pissed off with Donald Trump with all the legal attack that left him no choice, right? So all these videos later on I'll send to the group chat, yeah? All right, so crude oil continue to go higher, obviously, because of the blockade. And we have the threat of the AI picture. Let's see whether I have it over here. There we go. All right, Iran can't get their act together. They don't know how to sign a non-nuclear deal. They better get smart soon, Donald Trump. All right. So you can see that this is Donald Trump in the AI picture. So he is definitely a very good businessman. Okay. So Microsoft beat on top and bottom line with 40% of Azu's gain. And of course, we have Meta stock trading a bit lower due to the quarterly result in the internet disruption. Amazon dip, earnings beat, but of course, market focus on the one on Microsoft. And what's this? Okay, waiting for the Kevin Walsh to clear the Senate. Very important. I think he'll clear by early this next week. Yeah. Now, interestingly, Bill Ackman, all right, his Pershing Square USA fund falls sharply in the public market debut. Now, he's supposed to do well at $50, but apparently it closed at $14.90. All right, apparently they are not, people don't really buy into their this particular fund. They feel that this is overvalued at the moment right now. And last but not least, we have is the $1 million gold bear. Now, question is this: is gold price going to go up or go down? So investors are betting gold to crash. Okay, but I personally feel that gold is going to go up soon. So again, why is that so? I'll come to that very shortly. All right, guys. Today we have a mouthful of fundamentals. All right, a lot of fundamentals. So hopefully you guys are watching this. Okay, let's go to the technical. What is happening right now for the technical? Yeah. Oh, and then let me just scroll my screen a little bit. Wow, gold is going higher. Congratulations to those who have buy gold. I told you gold is going to go higher. Okay, so let's see the gold market today. Okay, so this morning gold opening price is 4545. Okay, the MLP 4569. So the market opens and the market is below OP, right? OP is below MLP. So by right, it's a sell market. And the KSI is red, the KCX is blue. So we are all looking to expect market to go lower. But there is something to look up. Yesterday, we already saw the KCX on the gold market has already came up, and that is whereby we know we are near a potential bottom. Why? The market have sold down all the way, and a lot of people now turn sell. So when the retailer turns sell, it's time to turn buy, correct? So that is one thing to take note of. Second, okay, the market now is above OP. Remember, when the market is above OP, you never sell a market. I say this thousands of times. I say this: if the market is below OP, you sell. Market is below OP, you sell. But when market is above OP, you buy. So this is why, again, we are making money and people are losing money because they don't follow the OP rule. It's very sad, but that is how people have been trading it. Okay, so let's look at the 5-minute chart. The internet is brilliant here, so I can do it very well here. You can see this. Okay, so this morning, if you sell gold this morning, I won't stop you because the market went below OP, red candle expected. But when the gold goes above the OP, that is where you must buy. There's nothing more to do, right? You must buy gold. And is there any diamond line over there? Let me just refresh my screen. Okay, don't have, right? Okay, here we go. Yes, we have a blue diamond right here, a blue diamond. So put the line over there, the blue diamond, and the market is above the OP, is above blue diamond, it's a buy, and that is so simple. And when the market basically come down, the red cluster, you can see the red cluster is actually higher than the previous one. So this is a very strong uptrend. So for those who join the elite class, you will know what is it about. So that is why the market went up. And the first TP obviously is KTR +1. We have booked some profit over there. And now the market stays above the KTR +1 and it tested the MLP and closed above MLP. So the next bounce, if the market can stay above MLP, it will be going for KTR +2. But the condition is this right now, guys. There is a MA 200. That's why you see the green dot over here. When you see a green dot here, means what? There's two things will happen, yeah? Remember, there's two things can happen. If the candle turns to red, the market will sell down, okay? Now, if the market still stay yellow, the market will continue to go up. So watch this space right now, guys. When you see a green dot, it's for you to prepare yourself. It's for you to know that you need to watch the market, okay? All right, so this is something very important. Okay, all right, so watch the market. If the market stabilize, it will go up to the KTR +2, yeah? So watch it, okay? Very, very important. Okay, all right, so that is the main thing right now. Okay, for gold, congratulations to those who have purchased and make money from gold. Well done, okay. All right, let's continue to next market. Okay, so this is the NASDAQ. As you can see on the screen, that's that. Okay, so this morning NASDAQ very clear when it opens and go above OP and above MLP is a very strong buy signal. Okay, no need to ask. The KSI is green, the KCX is black, so you don't need to ask. You just have to buy. And today is a DJDD, Doji directional day. So the market open already shoot up, right? So that is another thing that you must understand. Although we do know that in Doji, the market usually will go up, then come down, or go down and go up. But of course, if the market is very strong, it can open and go all the way. Unless you're telling me later on it pull back. Well, if later on, if the market really goes up, okay, and then come back down later, oh, that will be crazy, okay? That will be really crazy. Now, the thing is this, if you look carefully, there is a diamond line here. Can you see that, the diamond line? Okay, let me just draw it properly. Can you see? There is a 4 diamond here. So that is why the market for NASDAQ is so bullish, because the market is stabilized. Now look at this candle here. The market purposely touched the white candle line and then rebounded, right? So this actually tells you very strongly that the market is supported at the diamond line. And the KSI, KCX are all basically bullish, so everything is good. And the market now is above MA30 and MA200, also bullish. So at the moment now, NASDAQ is very, very bullish, and that's why the market cannot come down. Okay, so this one you must understand, yeah? Okay, very good. Okay, now let's look at the 5-minute chart. Then you can learn something from there. Now I love it when the internet is very good. I can do a lot of sharing, so you can learn a lot of stuff. Yeah. Okay, so you can see this morning for the NASDAQ, the market opens above MLP, right? So it's bullish. And once it open, you can see we have a 4 diamond immediately. So 4 diamond you draw, above OP you buy. So this is where you buy, and the market go to KTR +2, +3 done. Now, very important, the market now stabilize at above KTR +3. This is very bullish. You cannot sell. When the market is above KTR +3, you cannot sell anything. But later on, if your market goes below OP, go below sorry, this is a diamond line here. If the market goes down, break KTR +3, yes, it will go to KTR +2 minimally. Okay, so watch it, guys. If the NASDAQ do pull back and go down to KTR +3, it will go down to KTR +2. It's about 90% chance. And the condition is that it has to go down, yeah, and close below KTR +3. So this is something, one about crazy is that you can use whatever you learn on gold to apply on NASDAQ, Bitcoin, Dow Jones. It's the same. You don't need to learn about Dow Jones. You don't need to learn about the component stock. You don't need to learn everything. You just follow the rule and trade accordingly. All right. The amazing part of crazy is that once you learn once you learn the 10 rules, once you understand that, you don't need to bother anymore. Just follow through. Everything is just a repeated pattern. Okay, so that is the NASDAQ for you. So next market that we will look at, it will be the Dow Jones. Okay, the Dow Jones, now let's take a look. The Dow Jones, then we do the Bitcoin, and then we do crude oil. Okay, today we have a lot of time to do some things, so stay tuned with me, yeah? Okay. Now, Dow Jones has been down for a few days. Yesterday was down the most, yeah, okay. And the boys are selling, as you can see. Now, the Dow Jones itself, right, and NASDAQ, you may say, how come the NASDAQ is going up, the Dow Jones is not going up? It's because the NASDAQ is buoyant by the earnings, okay? But the Dow Jones is dampened by the current inflation. So I can tell you very safely, the moment the crude oil, if crude oil still go past 110, definitely the Dow will go down lower, because this is very important. The crude oil go higher, right, is dampening for the Dow component stock. Of course, the oil-related companies like Shell, BP, at Chevron, they will benefit because of the oil price, yeah, but then their upside will be limited. But if their earnings coming in, watch out for their earnings, it should be very good. Okay, so the thing is this, if the Dow Jones continue to go higher today, it has to break the 48,837. It has to break there for it to go up. Now, if it doesn't, it goes below OP, the MA30 will be the first thing to watch, because that is where the latest support will be. Okay, so traders, watch out for that. Now, personally, I think that if the market do come down to MA30, I suspect the market will buy up a little bit, because people are still very bullish in the market, and there's no other place to invest their money apparently. Okay, it's crude oil. Let's take a look before we go Bitcoin and end the session. Now, crude oil, I told you guys to buy. So yesterday, the day before, we buy crude oil. What's the reason? Because of KCB. So there's a KCB over here, right? That is the first KCB, and that was second KCB, and this is a gap between the market. Okay, so you see, first of all, when we called for buy a couple of days ago, it was because the market turned around, and there's a CCRY, KSI turned green, we buy crude oil. That's the first reason. Second reason is that when the market started to trade up, it broke above the MA30, so that's why I call for buy. I said that's a very strong buy. So the first KCB is here, and we take profit, right? But yesterday, the market was very strong. So it broke KCB, it went for the next KCB, which is here, which I also take profit. And then, of course, the market, crazy enough, there's a gap over here. Okay, there's a gap right here. So I basically also aimed the gap, and the market really closed the gap and profited again. So this trade pretty good. We have made quite a bit of money from buying from the bottom all the way up. And again, if you notice what's the reason that we are buying, because the red cluster highest closing, you can see is higher. So that gave me the strong reason to buy. Now, for people in Singapore and other country, if you don't understand what is this red cluster thingy, don't worry. I'll try to do a Zoom session maybe on Sunday night, so that I can share more with you. Okay, so watch out for this sharing at night, yeah, on Sunday. Okay, so that is the crude oil. I think crude oil will now stay around here because it just covered the gap. Normally, if there's a gap in the market cover, it will stabilize for a short while. But of course, if the market continue, oh my God, this is the highest point. Let's check the highest point. The highest point here is, the price is, let me see. Hold on, maybe I'll jam right now. Okay. Okay, I think the high price is something around roughly 116, I think so. If anyone can help me, you can check for me. So if the crude oil really break above OP, then yes, indeed, there's a very high chance crude oil can go all the way back to 116 again. Now, 116, if it happen, it's not going to be a fun thing because it's very expensive. The last time we saw the price when 116, the market pushed it back down very strongly, but after a while later, the market pulled it back again. And you can see it's getting higher each wave. So this tells you that crude oil price is still going to go up. And if price goes up, that's a big issue. Now, why this UAE left this OPEC? Because while US basically give them a route to basically give them money to produce oil and route out of the Strait of Hormuz. So that's why they exited, right? US is trying their best to do things like this, but that is not going to help. In fact, that's going to cause inflation even higher. But that's US. Okay, Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin, I told you guys to take some profit at 78,000. I hope you have done that. It has hit a high price of 78,000 and pull back. Now, of course, you can see, but the boys are still buying, right? Okay, so now this happened. If the market stabilize and go up, Bitcoin can go back up to 78,000 again because the KSI is green. But if the market is down and the KSI is still green on a downward trend, now the thing is this: if the market really sell down, the market will have to break the MA30. Now, MA30 is 75,000. So if the market break MA30, the Bitcoin can come down, yeah, all the way here to 73,000. Okay, so the L, you can see very strongly the market is supported at MA30 right now. So use the MA30 as a guide. As long as the market stay above MA30, you stay at the buy side. But if the market break MA30, you tend to sell. All right, so take note of that. This is very important, yeah? Okay, now for those who buy it with us recently, because we saw the stack diamond, we brought a stack diamond line, and that's why we buy Bitcoin back then. And our first target was here because this is where people put their stop loss, and the market come here exactly. You can see how stop loss get triggered. So Bitcoin is a very technical market. You need to play it with the big boys. So that's why whenever you see the market is coming down big time, you actually look to buy. So that's why, as I told you, right, I'll talk about gold. Why am I thinking the gold may go up? If you look back into history with our KCX, hold on a minute, let me just drag the chart in again. Okay, you see this, guys? Now, whenever this is gold, yeah? Okay, whenever you see there's a KCX at the bottom, see green, see red, see yellow, we buy, right? See green, see yellow, we buy, right? So now we see green again. So we see red again, right? So you have to see red, then you can see yellow. So now we have the KCX here, KCX here, KCX here. So see green, see red, see yellow, we buy. See green, see red, see yellow, we buy. So that's why now I think we may have a potential bottom in the gold market. But I think we need to have one more wave, down one more time, and after that, you should have a very good bottom. I believe that next month, May, there will be some form of heavy volatility in the market, and then in June, or mid-May, the market will sell again. So watch out for this, yeah? I don't think that the Strait of Hormuz will end so, the problem will end so easily. I believe there will be some more selling coming in the market. Okay, guys, that will be all for today. I know today we share a lot more than usual, but I think that is how we do it. As long as you guys benefit, this is what I will appreciate. All right, guys, thank you very much. See you online later on. Bye-bye.